Hi friendly fans, this is part 240 of the My Little Pony game. Today we're going to be finishing up the limited time story from last week, the Pinkie Parents Problem. And last time when we left off, we were fighting the Grand Pair minions. We need a recommended power of 38 to fight Granny Smith, and I have a total power now of 44, so let's go ahead and fight the boss. And of course, to win, you need to hit all of the targets. So it's not as important to hit the other targets here on the bottom. You have to hit the actual targets to win the boss battle. While you're playing these challenges here, you do have the opportunity to collect bits and shards and sometimes even gems. So go ahead and take advantage of these. You can get some extra stuff for your gameplay. Of course, let's avoid those bombs. Those make everything else, all the other targets, explode on the screen. We're almost done here, I think. There we go. Her health is down to 0. That means we won. And of course, another clue is the confetti. Now I'm imagining Pinkie imagining Grand Pair and Granny Smith at their kid's wedding. I think I'm getting a headache too. That quest was called Pinkie and the Perfect Pair. Our reward is the wedding decorations. I love that, and I just love that story. If you've ever watched the My Little Pony series, that is such a cute episode. Go look it up. I need to clear a space to put our wedding decorations. Oh, look how adorable. Now, I don't like how my grandparents reacted. Not one bit. But that don't mean I don't understand it. They cared about my ma and pa fiercely, but that got all tangled up with their pride and their family history, and they both ended up having more feelings than they knew what to do with. But do you know what? If my ma and pa hadn't stuck with their feelings, Big Mac, Apple Bloom, and me wouldn't be around today. Not to mention, Grandpa and Granny Smith wouldn't have mended their fences and started selling produce together. Whoa, being a parent sounds complicated. And full of multi-generational drama sometimes. I don't know. But I do know that I want you to finish that story. But after that, I'm definitely going to talk to Mrs. Cake. She has twins. That's like twice the normal amount of parenting perspective. Alright, we have some more Grand-Pair minions. That was really confusing. But if you look up at the top, you can see the bosses, and you can see that they have Grand Pair and Granny Smith twice. For this boss battle, we need a recommended power of 80, which I have now. So let's go ahead and fight the boss, which is Granny Smith again. That's perfectly fine because I think there's more of this story that we didn't find out before. It looks like Pinkie's hero gear is the same as it was before. They sure are giving us a lot of bombs to dodge this time around. But let's go ahead and collect all those bits. And of course, we have to hit the targets down here. Granny Smith started out with 1,200 health, and we've got her almost down to 0. I think we just have a couple more targets here. And we've won! That quest was called Pinkie and the Perfect Pairs. And this time our reward is Apples and Pears Stall. That was a really good story. And Pinkie Pie just left. I think she went back to Sugar Cube Corner. So let's place our Apples and Pears stall. I'm really excited because this is a shop and this will earn us shards and bits every day. I've arranged my Sweet Apple Acres so all my shops are together. So I'm going to put it right here next to my Buckball Museum. The Apples and Pears stall will take about 4 hours to complete. Okay, so I was going to talk to Mrs. Cake about parenting next, but it turns out she's too busy parenting right now. Pumpkin Cake and Pound Cake have full attrition appointments. But then I thought, instead of asking Mrs. Cake how she is parenting her twins in the present, why not find some pony who can tell me how she will parent them in the future? Are you talking about me? Because I have, no idea why you think I would have any special information about the future or anything. Aw, come on, Lyra. There's been like 24 different events about that already. I pay attention when you and Bonbon talk in parentheses, you know. What? I mean... Okay, well, I'd like to be clear that I have no idea what you're talking about, and can't tell you anything about pound cake and pumpkin cake's futures. Aww. I can tell you a hypothetical story about two totally made-up twin ponies whose parents taught them to be bakers as they got older. Hypothetically. Yay! Now it looks like we have some Mr. Cake minions, and we have to defeat 40 of those, and then of course we'll have to get up to the recommended power for Mrs. Cake. While I'm waiting on that, let's check out our community tab and see if we can afford to get any more of these helpers. Since Ma Hooffield is a 4 times multiplier helper, I think I'm going to go ahead and buy her, even though she's not one of my favorite looking characters. She belongs in Sweet Apple Acres, so we're going to go over there and make a little room for her. She costs 250 gems, so let's go ahead and purchase Ma Hooffield. Oh, look, she has sort of a little fort-looking house. Fort Smoky will take 22 hours to complete. Over the last day or so, I've been defeating these Mr. Cake minions. I've also been leveling up Pinkie's hero gear, so you can see she's changed her outfit. She has on sunglasses and an orange vest now. And we've finally reached the recommended power of 234. So now we can go ahead and battle the boss, Mrs. Cake. She starts out with a health of 4,680. But I think we're down to the last few targets here, and we have defeated Mrs. Cake. That quest is called Pinkie Poundin' Pumpkin, and the reward is the perfect pear cake. I'm not 100% following what this story is about. Who's hypothetical and who isn't again? I definitely want to put this in a place where we can see it, so I'm going to put it over here. Eventually, the made-up twins got so talented, they decided to open up their own patisserie in Canterlot. The local food critics were hard to impress, but the twins won them over. Their parents were sad to see their foals move so far away from home, but were proud of them just the same, and gave them all the support they could. I see. And just to make extra specially sure, these parents, they're made up and hypothetical too, right? Stop winking at me every other word, Pinkie. Our next set of minions look like they're critics from Canterlot. I'm guessing this represents how Pumpkin and Pound Cake have to impress 35 food critic minions. Over the next couple days, I had to raise Pinkie's hero gear to a power of 494. And now we can go ahead and beat the chef boss. He starts out with a health of 9,880. And again, we bring that health down each time we hit one of these targets at the bottom. And we've defeated the chef boss. Our reward for Pinkie and the prognostication is future Lyra heartstrings. Well, made up or not, that was a good story. Pinkie ran off again right after it was over, though. I think to talk to Scootaloo's family. Okay. So that story totally inspired me, and I got really impatient to learn a lot more about how parenting works all at once. So then I thought, is there any pony I know who has more than 2 parents that I could talk to at the same time? Is that even a thing? And then I thought about Scootaloo. Because Scootaloo has Maine Allgood and Snap Shutter, but also Holiday and Lofty, who also sort of count. That's twice the normal amount of parents, and I just found 3 of them. So you have. Hello, Pinkie. Yes, hello. I'm sorry Snap Shutter is still in Shire Lanka, but I'm glad we could all be here to talk with you. Who exactly were you talking to just then, though? Doesn't matter. You said you had some cool and inspirational stories about helping Scootaloo be her best pony self. Of course. There was the time that Lofty and I helped organize Cutie Mark Crusader Appreciation Day to celebrate everything she and her friends have done for this town. Before we can do our next boss battle with Mare, we have to take out 30 of these Raven Inkwell minions. And of course, I'm still working on my community tab all the time. Let's go ahead and welcome future Lyra Heartstrings, who lives with the present Lyra Heartstrings. That might get confusing. And let's take a look at her bio. It isn't ours to speculate on Lyra's future, but we bet it's awfully sweet. And that it absolutely does not entail any sort of secret agency monster hunting, publicly. A little bit ago, I bought Ma Hooffield to help us in the community tab, and she's arrived in Sweet Apple Acres, so let's go ahead and welcome her. And of course, I want to read her bio. Quite happy with her agricultural labors, at least when she's not chucking gourds at her neighbors. I've defeated the 30 Raven Inkwell minions, but we need a recommended power of 852. In the meantime, let's go ahead and challenge Ma Hooffield in one of these challenges. And I love the background on this one. I wanted you guys to see that. Let's go ahead and skip to the end here. I collected 760 of those hoof-made cards. It took me about 2 days to level Pinkie up to the total power of 888. I overshot the recommended power a bit because it was late at night. I wanted to wait and do the boss battle when I was fresh in the morning, but you can see Pinkie's hero gear has changed. She's sort of incognito with her glasses and mustache, and I think that's a trench coat. The Mare boss started out with a health of 21,300. I'm going to skip to the end, although this boss battle only took me about a minute. It's still a little long to watch. And we defeated Mare. This boss battle was called Pinkie's Penultimate Parlay, and the reward is the key to the city. Ooh, I remember that day. I was up on the stage right behind Rainbow Dash. Ooh, I remember that day too. I was up on stage right next to Spike. That key to the city was really shiny. It was, but that wasn't what convinced Snapshutter and I to let Scootaloo stay in Ponyville. It was recognizing that what she's doing here is her true calling. That doesn't mean we miss her any less when we're away. We do, so much. But we can also love her and feel pride in her life's work, all at the same time. It's all connected. So basically you're saying parenting is complicated. Which, I've heard that before, but I think I'm starting to get a better idea about how. I think I gotta get back to the rock farm and talk with my mom and dad. After you finish your story about Cutie Mark Crusader Appreciation Day, I'm not done imagining it yet. We have 25 more Raven Inkwell minions to defeat. Alright, to challenge the Snapshutter boss, we need a recommended power of 1,284, and I have 1,332. And just look at Pinkie's hero gear. Now she's decked out for a safari, it looks like. Snapshutter starts out with a health of 32,100, but let's go ahead and skip to the end here. This boss battle was called Pinkie Problem Solved. The reward is Snapshutter. Pinkie's running back to the rock farm now. I wonder what she's figured out. We're going to travel to Sweet Apple Acres, and we're going to put Snapshutter's house here somewhere. Scootaloo's family hangout is going to take about 30 minutes to build, but I'm going to go ahead and skip that with my VIP points. Mom! Dad! I just had a huge realization about what being a parent's like after talking to a whole bunch of them and imagining elaborate challenge scenarios in my mind palace. I mean, the details aren't that important. What is important is that surprise family reunion was the first time I came home in a while, wasn't it? I haven't been visiting much. And starting now, I'm gonna change that. I know my baking amazing cakes and saving Equestria every other month is important, but that doesn't mean you don't miss me, right? Verily. What I mean to say is, you speak true, my little rose quartz. I do apologize for our behavior during the reunion, and I think you have found the heart of it. Yes, modest though we may try to be, We could not be prouder of whom you have become, and we love you more each day. Spending time with you is always among our fondest wishes.
Aw, I love you guys too, and I'll totally visit more. That's a pinky promise.
Alright, so from now on, I just need to challenge this magic chest. And I'll get more of those magic coins from that. I'll also keep on with my community challenges. Let's go ahead and welcome Snap Shutter to Sweet Apple Acres, and we'll read his bio as well. Crikey! Whether it's wrangling crocodiles or chasing chimeras, Scootaloo's dad is one of the most accomplished naturalists around.
And that's the story of my surprise family reunion, and how I learned an important friendship lesson about staying close to your parents as an adult pony.
I know, Pinkie. I was there, remember? In the corner, talking to Boulder.
What? How did I not even notice you that whole time? I did a whole emotional journey and everything.
Boulder likes quiet conversations.
I guess the next time I come visit, I should try and learn an important friendship lesson about paying more attention to my super amazing sister. So that is the end of the Pinkie Parents Problem limited time story. My community rank was 78, and from my magic coins, I got 30 extra gems. I also got Future Bonbon and a friendship quilt, and 20 extra gems as well from the community tab. Today, a new limited time story called Nightmare Nights began, but we will go over that next week. Well, friendly fans, that is the end of part 240 of the My Little Pony game. Make sure to like, subscribe if you haven't already, and hit that bell for notifications. Also, check out JoJo's Science Show, where JoJo and Grace do fun science experiments. I love you, friends, and I hope you have a fabulous day.